Right, so another video. We've been really busy. We're always really busy, but a different busy. It's been
cars.
Yeah, parking cars today. We've got an Easter event on, and then set up for Easter event, and then just getting the museum back opening. But we have been tinkering. We've been in the Land Rover this week, which hasn't been the most fun, especially when we've got so many tanks to fix.
Yeah, we needed to get the bits to fix the tanks.
But we needed to get the bits to fix the tanks, yeah. But next week we are on BV overhaul. So we run a BV 206 and we do rides around our off-road course with that. And she needs a full overhaul. So that's pods off, tracks off, all the wheels off.
Every bearing, really.
Every bearing, we've got all the bushes for the rear tensioners. It's quite a cool bit of kit actually, and when you strip it apart, it's really simple.
It's got tracks, that's close enough to a tank.
Yeah. We do this every couple of years, a full overhaul, and then in between we just do wheel bearings and stuff. We normally do that over a whole winter really. This week we're starting Monday, and it's going out doing rides and corporate work Thursday night, and back on corporate work every weekend on Saturday.
Yes.
From Saturday.
We like keeping ourselves a good time.
Most people look at the timetable and think, well, we could save a few days. No, we've gone, let's save a few months.
Definitely, at least weeks.
Yeah. But it's going to be good. That'll be quite a good video actually, how that all comes apart and how it works and how it does its thing. So what I would class as our better content is starting from Monday again. Yeah, the Land Rover isn't, I don't know. I wouldn't watch a Land Rover being done.
I would, with us.
Yeah, yes, yeah, we'd watch it because it's us doing it. But yeah, we do apologise that it's the content is Land Rover again. But maybe you like Land Rovers.
There's enough out there.
Yeah.
Land Rovers, that is.
Yeah. So righto. I'll put some of that.
And actually,
Starting with though, we're going to start with rear brakes and get a rear hub on and put all new bearings in the rear. If you like it, we do have all the footage from doing the front hub and swivels and setting all the swivels up. So let us know in the comments if you do like it. We'll post that. If not, we'll just crack on with tanks again. And next weekend, for the guys that haven't visited and want to visit at some point, we're going to have an open workshop weekend next Sunday, where you can walk through the workshop, see what we're up to, and there'll be a Chieftain gearbox. I don't know how in bits it will be,
some bits.
because we haven't started yet. We've got a full overhaul to do on one of them. So we'll be in the workshop actively taking that to bits. Depending how well we get on with this BV this week, depending how in bits it is when you have a look around. Well, there'll be 3 B series engines. We've got 3 B60s going to be on the go.
Yeah.
There'll be some cool stuff in the workshop.
I say we'll aim to be doing that the last Sunday of every month.
Yeah, so yeah, last Sunday of every month. Say workshop door. Well, not only can you look through the door and look from the gantry, you'll be able to come straight in and have a look at what's happening and see what stuff looks like in bits really. Gearbox will be quite cool.
Yeah. I still don't know how they work.
Magic.
Magic.
Now it's time to knock some bearings into these hubs. Get ready to fit. So this one's the rear one. And I've got a couple of tools we made. So off one of the old bearings we've got the outer race, and you'll see that she's got a cut in it. And that means we can knock that in and use that to help knock the new bearing in. And it won't get stuck in there, we can just pull it back out of our hands. Next other thing is they're not very fun to press in, so I'm just going to knock them all with a hammer. We do have a press, but yeah. Right, so we've got the outer race, and that's the bit that we need to knock in, and obviously they are tapered one way, so we need to make sure we get it in the right way, and that is tapered to the outside. Goes in that way. And then because we've got that cut in this one will then just pull back out. once it's flat against its shoulder, the noise changes. So now we've got to put a bearing in there, then a seal.
Before these bearings can be fitted, we need to, I say they're a bit dry. They've got just the packaging oil on them. And we are going to go for the grease hubs. So if I get a tin of grease, and essentially just you're kind of pushing it into the bearing like so, off the palm of your hand. You can see a lot of it's already coming out around the rollers. So you just you're pushing it in, and what you can see, if I hold it in the right place, is there's a bit of grease now just coming out from there. So it's gone all the way through between those rollers. So that is bearing now greased and ready to go in. Just got to do the other one.
I've just been told by a reliable source that we need to lift up the piece of electrical wire that is dangling in my catch tank. We appear to have a didn't really expect to find that in the catch tank. Apparently that is well, I know it's a Lewis mag, but that was dug up with a Somme, which is kind of cool. It does look like it. It's been in the ground for a lot of years. Right, back to what we were going. I need a bearing race to put in this hub. So we've got one of the prelude bearings. So pop him in there nice and straight.
I hope you got the right one and the right one.
Yes, obviously. Now we need to put the seal in, which is something that no Land Rover owner can actually put in the right way. So let's show you how that's done. So we've got the seal, which have this then little dust shield as well, and everyone sticks them in for some reason. It's not actually that hard to work out, mainly because they do tell you, if you read them, which way around they go. But obviously they can't read.
Why don't you use the press and push them in?
Because we're doing it this way. We don't actually press in that nicely. The other thing is, or people always ask, is how far do you push the seal in? Because you could have it flush, you can have it 2 mil down, 3 mil down, 4 mil down. There's no set shoulder for it to go to. The answer to that is just somewhere different than it was last time. So you're on a new sealing face on the sub-axle. No point staying up in the scored up area. Although ours aren't that scored. Right, Josh, ready to put it on? Right, so we've now got Land Rover bits everywhere. All the front hub stuff, but more importantly right now what we want is the brake disc. So that goes there. And then with a bit of Loctite
A bolt's gone in across ready.
I've got a line of disc, haven't I? And you'll see as this does up now, it will sort of wobble and wiggle as it seats everything correctly.
With a comically sized socket.
Yeah. Right, so at this point now it should be stiff to turn, but it should turn, but it will be stiff. Yep. Right, so now we need to slack him off 90 degrees and then torque him to 5 Newton meters. So now, torque wrench with 1/4 to 3/8 and then 3/8 to 1/2 inch to torque it.
It does look fairly ridiculous.
It does look a bit ridiculous.
Probably don't need the extension.
No. Yep. So now we check to see if it rotates freely. Look at that.
There's
no end float. Righto. I'll get the other nut.
Yeah. Shiny new locking plate. I got the other nut.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the old one's fine. I think that was the inner, so
Yeah.
no cleaning up required. A chisel would be nice though. So that's just hand tight for now. And I've made it so it lines up with the one behind it. And that's just holding the plate in place. So I can just knock the lock and plate round onto it. And then we'll tighten up this outer nut. And then I'll put the lock and tab onto that as well. There you go. So that's got lock and tab on it. Which, if I move this camera, see that's bent that round. Back to the big one, and this outer nut does up to 61 Newton meters. So still not actually that tight. Yep, just check that. Just a little turner nicely. And then
Right, so shaft. Now go in. We're not going to hide them like that.
it is. It's on the flange
Okay.
rather than because it will just move the gasket
Yeah.
around.
These either go in first time, or you spend ages trying to get them in. Nope. They on because I want to coat the whole bolt, because what happens is they corrode the shoulder on this flange and then they snap when you get them out. That happened yesterday to Robbie. You see in our videos, we were doing his Land Rover yesterday. Right, 17.
It's motivation to put the wheel back on, because then we can tighten these up.
Do you remember?
Yep. Time to refit the caliper onto these. Fairly nice and easy because it's just 2 bolts. But they're that funny bi-hex pattern. So a healthy amount of Loctite, because it's a bad day in the office if one of these bolts falls out. And our luck, it would be on the side of a major road, probably whilst towing a trailer. And then need to move yet. So those 2 bolts are now tight. These. And then there's just the brake pipe. We just need to pop back in. Pads in, and I say once the brakes are on all 4 corners, we can then bleed them all back up. Then go for the wheels, make it roll again. So, yeah. Calipers fitted. So it's currently a little noisy in here. It's quite busy today, so I'll try and speak up. But pads, even easier really than actually putting the caliper on. There's nothing for me to actually do up. So 2 shiny new pads to go with the shiny new disc. They just slot in either side, and then we've even treated ourselves to new springs and split pins. So they sit on top. Make sure the pads are in all the way. So I want 1 spring, 1 clip. They pop, push the spring in. And then the split pin pushes across like so. I'll get the other one in before I split them. There we go. So they're in. And then pair of pliers. Just split the ends over. There we go. So that just needs bleeding now, which So we've got to get all of them on first to do that. Other side's done, so just waiting, finishing up the fronts. And then we'll get the wheels painted. And so, once the wheels are painted and paint's gone dry, they're ready to go on. And this is then, we'll say, ready to take the axle stands out, get it on the floor, maybe even start it up soon.
Right, as we said in the front of the video, if you do like the Land Rover stuff, let us know, because I do have all the footage from the front hubs and stuff being built up. And where the swivels work and how the CV joint works and stripping and doing all the CV joints. If you like it, let us know below, drop a comment, and we'll post that as well.
Yeah.
If not, we'll just stick to tanks.
It's really popular. We've probably got all the footage of bolting everything on it as well.
Yeah, so let us know if you want to see more Land Rover. But thanks for that. We shall see you guys in the next one.